How's it going, YouTube? This is Levi from BayFoils, and today, very highly requested, we are going to be talking about the new conical wings from Fliteboard. So, if you're not in the loop, Fliteboard has 3 new efoil mounts, or efoils, period. The Performance Aluminum, the Dual Drive Magnuson, and the Wave Magnuson edition. These efoils all use the new conical mount, which is a more streamlined, better, cooler mount system on their performance line of efoils. They've also come up with some new wings that are only available on the conical mount. Here I'm giving you my honest thoughts and opinions on the new wings. So before we get into the video though, please remember, subscribe to our channel, like the video, share it with your friends who are also interested in efoiling. And then also a new thing too, in the description for this video, I'm going to include our link to Fliteboard. So if you're looking to purchase any of the product in the video today, you can actually head straight to fliteboard.com using our link. That way Fliteboard will know that we sent you over there to pick up whatever you need. I don't have any stock on these conical wings yet because they're still pretty limited, but especially if you live on the opposite side of the country, it's really not efficient to shop from our inventory when you could just go straight to Fliteboard. So feel free, click that link if you're ready to buy. It'll take you straight to Fliteboard and they'll know BayFoil sent you. So first, let's get into the easy wings here. There's a couple wings that are more or less the same as the traditional 3-screw mount. We have our Cruiser Jet 1500 here. This is the conical version. Let me just make myself a little bit smaller. We have our Cruiser Jet 1500C. We have our Flow 1300S, our Flow S1100, and our Flow 900 wings. You know, I'm not going to go into too much detail on these wings because they're more or less the same thing. If you've already been riding the Cruiser Jet 1500, the Cruiser Jet 1500C is not much different. Still has a lot of early lift, really easy to do bank turns. The main difference that you'll notice between the 3-screw plate mount and the conical mount is that a lot less front foot pressure required with the conical mount. One of the things about the traditional 3-plate screw mount is they were mounted on the bottom of the fuselage and had a little bit of positive angle to it. With the new conical wings, the wing actually rides more or less in line with the center of the fuselage. And so it makes your trim point a little bit further back. So you don't have to put as much front foot pressure. They ride a little bit more neutral, especially with a 0 shim. So if you're a lighter rider, the conical mount is going to be a little bit more less strain on your body to manage. And so again, I'm not going to really go into details on the ride feel of these 4 different wings because if you want that info, you can just go over to our other video talking about all the wings, because the actual ride experience and what the wings are capable of, pretty much the same. It's just less front foot pressure with the conical versions. So let's get into our first new wing on the conical mount is the Wave 1000. This is a killer wing. This is an absolute game changer of a wing, but here's the big but for surfing. And here's the thing, you know, I didn't really do a good job in the last video, the tier ranking. The presentation wasn't really the most conductive of really trying to get people to understand that all the wings are like different tools. The way I presented it was like there was a bad option and then there was great options, because that's how tier lists work. And I was making a tier list video because the algorithm of YouTube really prefers those videos. But in reality, it's really not good to compare the wings to each other on a good, better, best kind of scale. It's really more like comparing different tools in your tool belt. You wouldn't say that a hammer is specifically better than a screwdriver. And that's kind of how you've got to think about the wings. They're all different tools suited for different purposes. Just because one is better at one job than the other doesn't mean it's a better wing explicitly. If your goal is to surf, then the wave wings are going to be the best wings for you. But if you're just a flat water rider, you're not going to really have much fun on this wave wing, just being super honest. And that's kind of where, again, you are the ultimate judicator of what's going to work for you. You need to understand and have your expectations set on what you want to do. But if you are someone who rides wake, looking to get into surfing, if you are doing unpowered hybrid efoiling, the wave wing it's bananas, bro. Like, super thin. The foil goes really thick to really thin in the back, which is really good to maintain glide and lift. The whole shtick of this wing is about making it glide really efficiently as you're losing velocity. So when you cut that motor, it's designed to not slow down. Because the thing is, we do have bigger wings in our arsenal. We have our Flow 1300, we have our Cruiser Jet 1500, and those do achieve better lift at slower speed. But because they also have really thick chord lengths and just overall large surface area, they have considerably more drag than this wing, even like just in general. And even though you'll be able to get up on the foil at a slower speed, you're gonna grind to a halt much sooner. This wing, the wave wings, they're much smaller, but that you continue to glide for much longer. So while you do need a little bit more speed to get that initial lift off, once you're cutting the power, these are designed to really glide super smoothly. And so I definitely noticed in flat water, they're not the most stable wing. They're not the most carvy wing. They kind of really do resist the turning a lot more than the flow wings because they're relatively flat. But as far as like when you're pumping and you're going on the face of a wave or catching a little bump, this does keep up on the foil and keep you gliding a lot longer. And so the main difference between the Wave 1000 and the Wave 800 is just its forgiveness. The Wave 800, 850 is going to be a little less forgiving. You need a little bit steeper of a wave. Like when you cut off the power, you're a lot more prone for the board to immediately start to sink if you're not giving it some back foot, or like letting off the throttle gradually, not immediately cutting it. And so definitely, I'm probably just going to stick with the Wave 1000 for now. I'm also like 190 right now. I've been, some life events have happened and I've put on a little bit extra weight. So I don't see myself using the 850 in quite some time. And then let's talk about our newest, latest, and greatest wing, the MN1300. Whew. Let me just say, if you are looking for a one wing setup and you want to do everything, this is the wing, period. I'm going to go on record and say it. This is the best wing Flite has come out with, and maybe the best efoil wing out there. It's crazy. Like, I don't put a lot of stock in the equipment over skill. If you want to do cooler, better stuff, you should work on your skills to improve. The gear only is going to take you so far. That being said, this wing is awesome, and it will absolutely let you surf better, carve harder, and just overall have a better time. Seriously. I'm a big user of the Flow 1300. That's kind of my go-to Swiss Army knife wing. Like, I use that for surf, light surf, for teaching lessons, for flat water carving. That's my go-to wing. So the MN1300 is very similar in terms of lift and speed and everything, but just the way the wingtips are shaped, pointier wingtips, it's not as sawed off as the S1300. It's just killer, man. Like, this wing, it banks effortlessly. You can really keep the wingtip out for much longer, especially considering I was riding on the Ultra L2, which is just such a lighter weight rig with the nano battery. This wave is also super efficient for surfing. I went out on this wing and a boat came by and I was able to effortlessly just glide into their wake, and I got like a 100-meter ride. I was on wave for like 20 seconds plus, because yeah, it was just killer. You know, just to go into it a little bit more, I really haven't had a lot of experience wake foiling just because we don't have that setup here. I did it in the Caribbean a bit with these crazy yachts and wake boats, but in the Bay here, there's just not a big wake surf, water ski scene here. It's too gnarly and cold. So like, we just don't have that scene. But using this wing with the Wave Ultra L2 Wave Edition, so lightweight, you're able to pull into like 2-footers, 1.5-foot wakes, and you're able to pump and stall and just stall, get in the pocket and surf it. It absolutely blew my mind. So again, I'm just a regular dirtbag surfer. If I go out to the beach, I'm usually either surfing or stand-up surfing. I really don't do a whole lot of efoil surfing just because it's dangerous and you need bigger waves. And if the waves are big, I'm just going to surf it. That's more fun for me. But now that the minimum requirement of wave to get surfing out on like an Ultra L2 has been lowered to waves that I don't really want to surf, I'm super like jazzed on getting out and efoil surfing. It's crazy. Like, and it's all because of this wing. Like, this wing does it all, and it was awesome. Keep in mind, it's gonna all be case by case. I'm a very experienced rider and surfer. Take it with a grain of salt about my experience and my abilities, but be smart. Don't give yourself wing FOMO and say, oh, but what if? Make the right choice. If you're an absolute beginner, start with a beginner wing and then graduate to something that's a little bit more aggressive or versatile or whatever. And that's pretty much it. The MN1300 is my new favorite wing. It does it all. It's awesome. Wave wings are going to be really I'm super stoked for these for the surf season. Like I said, I'm going to try to get out a bunch more this winter. Winters usually I don't efoil a lot, I just surf, but that probably is going to change this year. And then yeah, we have our classic 1500 wing, best beginner wing on the market, and then our Flow series wings, which, you know, if you're a flat water rider, are going to be a little bit more thrilling. So that's it for the video. Again, if you want to pick up any of the stuff from the new Conical mounts, you could use the link in our description, and stay tuned for more videos. We'll see you.